Hi, we're back with part 2 of Sharon Farrell's Hollywood Princess from Sioux City, Iowa, which came out today on Amazon. Now, when they go to Amazon, how do they...
I don't even know.
Did they look up your name or...
Well, I went there and I look. You have to. You go to Amazon and you have to put in Sharon Farrell, Hollywood Princess from Sioux City, Iowa, and you have to put book. You have to, because there's a little box on one side, and I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. Jesse said, "Well, you got to look under books."
So that's the key word is with your name, book.
Yeah.
So then it'll probably, even if they just put your name on there and put book.
I'm not sure if that would work, but Hollywood Princess Sharon Farrell, Hollywood Princess from Sioux City, Iowa. I guess that's a big mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess. Well, even if they just Google your name.
Well, a lot of times it just SharonFarrell.com comes up, and it's my website, and I don't have that on my website yet.
There's more than Sharon. Then your website comes up when they Google your name. Your Facebook page, everything.
I wish I could get. I brought my computer with me. Should I?
Everything.
Should I go get it and try to look it up?
Okay, well, you got it.
Yeah, I do. I brought it because I thought I wasn't sure what to do, because Amazon has a thing. For $249, they will write up a thing that will announce that your book is out there. And it's like for $249, they'll like send it like just everywhere. Now I wonder if I can just see.
Well, we're gonna look.
And let's see, but I'll bet I'm gonna have to. Well, it's Google. Maybe it just.
That's what I'm saying. If you Google it.
Okay, now wait. What do I click in? Which network is yours? Do you know?
Oh, the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Do
you know which one you are?
Oh, I don't. Try that one.
The top one? Join.
Is that it?
Oh, you have to have a password.
I don't know. I have Wi-Fi too.
Well, you have Wi-Fi. I wonder why it wouldn't just go.
It's right on here.
Really?
Yeah.
On there?
Yeah. On the camera.
Oh, all this technology is incredible, isn't it?
Can't you put your name in there?
I'm going to do it. Okay, share here.
If you put your name in there,
sure.
You're learning something, folks. We're having a schooling.
I know. It's like we're having an Apple class.
On Google, I think it would come up.
Let's see, Amazon. I think you have to put in Amazon. Well, I don't know.
No, just put...
Let me just say Sharon Farrell.
Yeah, and see
Sharon
if it comes
Farrell,
up on...
And I'll just put actress.
No, just put your name.
Because there's like 29 different Sharon Farrells in California alone. Unable to connect to the internet.
Oh, okay. Well, we tried. You have to.
Yeah,
you
I
folks
don't know
try. Just try. Go on Google it and Sharon's name, and see how.
And you know something? It's like when you self-publish, they don't tell you what you can and can't do, because it's like I talked to this one publisher, and they said, "Well, Sharon, are you writing?"
Wi-Fi. What about the phone number? Can you put in the phone number?
Oh, put your phone number in there. Oh, let me try that.
Because I think that's the key.
Okay, let me just put Amazon. Okay, Amazon.
And we'll see if that comes up.
Unable to connect. Okay. It's not connected. Error code. I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
No, neither.
Unable to connect to the internet. And before something came down and it said how to do it. I don't know. Let's see. I'm just going to do this. Okay, let me just see if that one would work.
Sharon.com, Amazon?
Yeah, it still says,
I
was thinking that if I put in your phone number, that might do it, but I don't know. I don't want to waste our time doing this, But it was like really fun. But I'll tell you something. They say, well, what kind of a book are you going to do? Is it going to be about, because I'm like trying to be, I leave Sioux City, Iowa, I get to New York City, and it's like everybody's coming at me out of the woodwork, all these men and stuff, and I'm like lost and flopping around like a fish out of water. And it's like, I'm always trying to be a good girl, I called my mom one time and I told her about this guy.
Right.
And this old man that wanted to like sponsor me and stuff like this. And she said, well, it's better to get something for it than to give it away free. And I thought, well, I can't depend on my mom anymore for any kind of advice. And it was like, I tried to be good. I tried to be a good girl. I tried.
What do you mean by you tried to be good?
Well,
you not have sex?
Yeah, I tried not to have sex. I tried not to have sex. You know, and during those days you didn't want to have sex because number one, you didn't want to get pregnant. You know, that was
and
the big
you're
thing.
frowned upon.
Yeah, and it was frowned upon. And, you know, you were supposed to marry, you know, your high school sweetheart or, you know, the banker or the, you know, you're not supposed to go marry the garbage collector down the block. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to, like, you know what I mean? It's like all us girls have been raised to be gold diggers.
But I would also think...
Like, find a man who's going to take care of you.
Becoming an actress in New York, I thought it would make you feel free. That you can do those things. Because you're not in Sioux City, Iowa anymore. You're an actress. And you can pretend to be anybody you want. It was just something...
Well,
was that ever there?
I don't, you know, in the beginning, all I did was try to work. I mean, I got to New York City, and I got photographs. I got, you know, I ran around and I got free photographs. I went to 480 Lexington, and they'd give you, you know, they'd do test photos of you, and you'd get free photographs. And I remember at one point a man, like, I was showing a little bit too much. I think part of my breast was shown, you know, and my mom just had a fit over that. She just had a total fit over that. She just thought it was just awful.
But your assets really helped you.
Yeah, it does help. It helps to be a pretty girl in the beginning. It certainly does help you. That helps, but it gets you. I don't know. My first thing was the thing in Cuba.
Sharon, that's interesting too, because being a pretty girl will get you into the business, but it doesn't take you. They don't want to take you serious. Have you noticed a lot of
I know
good-looking
that.
actresses?
Like for example, I don't think anybody ever took Mamie Van Doren seriously.
Right. That's
or maybe, you know, Marilyn Monroe had to go back and she had to study with Lee Strasberg. And but she didn't get into the. She didn't get into. Did she ever get into the actor studio?
She never became a member.
She went there and studied with him. She never auditioned for actor studio.
No, she was an observer at the studio.
She was an observer and she studied with him, you know.
Right.
But and I'll tell you something. When I did this movie in Cuba with Elaine Stritch and Steve Hill, Elaine Stritch, Andy Prine was like he was already talking about getting into the actor studio. And I said, well, I want to do that too. And Stritchy said to me, she said, oh, it'd be like sending a tiger to jungle school. Go home, go back to Kansas or wherever you're from, Goldilocks. That's what she said to me. She said, plus it's too expensive. You never could afford it. And that's why I thought it was like expensive.
And she was probably talking about his classes.
Yeah, well, I wanted...
Because people did study private with him and they paid.
I never could have done that. I couldn't do that to this day.
But the studio...
I mean, but I do want to audition. I still haven't gotten those plays yet.
Well, after this book. Now, let's get back to the book a little more. I mean...
But Stritchy really just told me that there was just no hope for me.
You have her in there?
Yeah, I have that whole thing in there with her and Gene Lyons and talking about Grace Kelly and everything. Because Gene Lyons had this affair with Grace Kelly, and every time they started talking about it, when I came around, Stritchy and Gene Lyons would stop talking, you know?
Interesting you call her Stritchy.
Well, that's what he called her, you know. She's not really an Elaine. She's Stritchy, because she's like, got a mouth on her and she's got a sting on her, and she's still like that.
Yeah, right.
She's still alive and full of piss and vinegar, that woman. But I kind of thought I looked up to her, and I just like, you know, I really looked up to her, and now I'm finding out that she was giving me the wrong information.
Why do you think that happened?
Well, because you're the one that told me it was free.
Yeah, well,
and that I could, you know, you're the one that has said, try out for it.
A lot of times it's competition. You know?
I don't care. I don't care. I would just like to go there and read. I don't even care if I get in. I'll just go there and read 50 times. I had an actor friend
who encouraged me to come to California, and years later he told me, why? He said, because I knew you'd be up for the same parts as I was in New York.
It's so funny because Stritchy, we were going through our clothes and stuff in this one room where they had all the wardrobe and everything, and she picks up this bra, and it was my bra from Sioux City, Iowa that I had worn to my prom. I'd worn it once to my prom, and I brought it with me. She said, "Oh, this is me. I want to wear this."
Really?
She said, "I'm going to call it my Goldilocks bra."
Oh, she knew it was yours.
I don't know.
Oh.
She just took it. And I kept my mouth shut. I wasn't going to tell her it was from Sioux City, Iowa, and I wore it to my prom. I wasn't going to say that to Stritchy, I wasn't going to say that to her.
God,
but she was playing the leading lady in that. She was playing opposite Steve Hill, so she was supposed to be this real.
I'm surprised Steve Hill didn't tell you, because he was a member of the studio.
Oh, he hit me so hard. He hit me so hard that, I wouldn't have met Che Guevara if he hadn't slugged me.
That's in the book, too. People are going to... Don't tell them about that, because let people read that.
I don't even care. If anybody wants a book, I'll just send the whole book to them. I don't even care, because it's who has time to read books anyway?
This one I have a feeling they're going to read.
I always thought that if I wrote a book, maybe it would help me get out of the situation I was in with all my properties and stuff in my house, because I lived with this guy for 35 years. He was my manager, my agent, and all this, and then you just absconded with a lot of people's money besides mine, and he got his name on everything, and I was never married to the guy, but he got his name on just everything, and I thought, what I'll do is I'll write a book and I'll be able to walk away and he can just have everything. I don't care. But then I found out that nobody makes any money on books.
Well, you don't know. I got a feeling about this one. Now, on this book, I saw you have Edward Lozier.
Oh, Edward Lozier. He's a press agent. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to afford him. Because it's he's $3,000 a month, and it's that's a lot of money. I mean, it isn't a lot of money. It isn't a lot of money for what he does. And I'm not even sure that's his price. That was his price maybe 10 years ago. Yeah. Maybe it's more now.
Yeah, it's a little bit more now, I would imagine.
Probably.
But this is an easy sell.
He was Shirley, what's her name?
MacLaine?
No. Shirley Jones. She just wrote a book.
Yeah, right.
And she and her husband, they have been with Ed Lozier for just years and years and years. But Ed's always been nice to me. He's always invited me to parties and stuff like that, Of course, I don't know now that I've gotten older whether he's going to invite me to parties. Because when I was young, I used to get invited to
you still look great. I mean, I sent him, a friend of mine who's just left, I guess today. She's going to sing for the Pope.
What?
Friend of mine, her name is, she's a Chinese opera singer.
Oh, I've seen her on your Facebook.
Right. And
what's her name?
It's Lu Yi. It's spelled Luye. Louis, and she's really beautiful. Yeah. An actress too, and
she's going to sing for the Pope?
She's singing for the Pope. She's on her way over there now.
She has a beautiful voice. I know that. I'm not that much into opera, but since I've known you, I've come to appreciate it.
I think in the March she's going to be singing for Maria Callas's belated birthday. They were supposed to be in January, but they put it off until March. Wow. She's going to sing for her 90th birthday.
Wow, they love that Pope, don't they? Oh. He was on the cover of Time magazine.
That's great. So it's great. But I recommended her to him. And they're going to, I don't know how they,
You recommended her to who?
To Edward.
Oh, to Ed Lozier.
Yeah, because she was looking for somebody.
Oh,
and I know he was a friend, I saw there was a friend of yours and a few other people.
Yeah, he has been around for a long time. He loves actors, he loves actresses. The only bad thing about Ed is he's had so many affairs, and he's had some affairs with the same women you've had affairs with.
Really?
You guys both talk too much.
I don't talk.
Girls are allowed to talk about their romances, but guys are not allowed. They're never supposed to tell on us. But we can tell on them.
I've never talked.
We're terrible. We're such hypocrites.
I've talked about women I've gone out with, but I've never talked about.
Yeah, but if you've gone out with somebody for a real long time, I figure that it's like there's no way you'd keep going out with somebody unless you got them into their pants.
But I didn't say that.
I know you didn't, but
no, I would never.
But we can.
So what you're saying? I can't tell you who I went out with then.
Oh, you can listen. It's all's fair in love and war. Oh gosh, all's fair is not love and war. Wait, all is not fair with love and war anymore.
That's right. Now, when you said
especially
that, I'm
war.
thinking some of the men you talk about in this book are alive. I mean, you talk about Andrew Prine and a few other people. What do you think the response is going to be from them?
I don't know. Andy might be mad at me because I was kind of cheating on him when he thought I was like not. But I don't. That was so long ago, and it's like he came up to me. He was with Robert Blake, and Blake was his sponsor for AA, because Andy used to drink. He used. I mean, I guess he thought he drank a lot. I guess we all drank a lot. We were all a bunch of alcoholics, and we didn't even know it really. I mean, that's what you did because it wasn't against the law. So you got drunk every weekend.
It's true.
I mean, you go out. What are you going to do? You have a drink and you smoke a cigarette, and that's what you do. I mean, that's what we used to do. And then, of course, grass came along, and then we all did that. And then coke came along, we all did that. And then crystal came along, we all did that. Now we're all doing heroin, except I'm not doing heroin. I've been there, done that already.
Never tried that.
Well, it's a nice high. But, it's like those hard drugs, heroin is less damaging, I think, than crystal meth. Because crystal meth is man-made, number one. Heroin is like a kind of an organic kind of thing. But that can be cut with all kinds of bad stuff, too.
It's very destructive.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad. You got to really...
There's a curse on drugs.
You have to clean up and because you can lose out on a lot of your life just because you're stoned and you don't remember things. And because I've always been trying to remember my life, because I had that embolism and my heart stopped and I had all that brain damage, I always wanted to remember things. I didn't want to lose myself. I wanted to remember stuff. So, but.
Now, does Amazon let you know how do you know how many books are sold?
I have no idea. These are things I have to find out. And you know what? I'm gonna. If anybody wants to write a book or anything, all my experiences, if they want to know, I'm gonna tell them how to do it, how I did it anyway. Because that's all I can talk about is how I did it. But you know something? The publishers did not want me to write about my search for God, because I was always searching for God. While I was going through my life, I was always looking for God. I mean, everybody is. Everybody is. There's always questions about what's happening and where are we from and why does God let this happen and why does God let that happen, I mean, all of us in our whole lives, and everybody's thought about suicide. There is not one human being, in the world that hasn't had that come through their mind. I mean, we're all the same.
Searching for God.
We're all the same.
Why didn't they want you to put that in there?
Well, because it either had to be a sexy book or it had to be a spiritual book, and it's like they sell to certain they sell to certain things, and they want to.
When they market it.
They have this marketing thing that they do, and I thought I'm not going to do that. And then Jesse and I got into a fight, so I looked for another editor, and then that editor wanted to change my book so much. It's like Jesse didn't do that. He had talked to me and I mean. What I wrote is what I said. I'd say something and then maybe he'd change it around a little bit, slightly, or put it in another section,
But he left it still true to you.
It was my voice. Right. It's like there's no way I would compare my life to a John Steinbeck novel. Right. And this guy, the first chapter, he's saying, my life is like a John Steinbeck novel, The Grapes of Wrath. Well, that was like just so full of it, I cannot tell you. I got so upset because, number one, John Steinbeck is like my very favorite novelist in the whole wide world. And The Winter of His Discontent like totally changed my life. And for him to like compare Sioux City, Iowa and my poor family to people that went through the Dust Bowl and Grapes of Wrath, please. I mean, he's got to be a stupid idiot to say something like that. Now he's going to edit my book? Oh, I don't know. And I love the guy. I mean, he's a real nice person and everything. He's got all kinds of books and all kinds of libraries everywhere. And he's written like 6 books on Steve McQueen. And I said, well, did you ever meet Steve McQueen? No. And they're writing all these books and they haven't even met the person.
There's a lot of that goes on.
Good Lord, you know. It's like, how can you write a book about somebody if you've never even met them?
They do it on Facebook. I was online. I wanted to ask Jacqueline Bissett. She about Peter O'Toole.
I like her.
I do too. And someone got back to me and said that's not Jacqueline Bissett's page. It's an imposter.
Else. Imposter.
And this was from a friend of hers, and I was really appreciated that. And she sent me to a link.
How to find her. I run into her every once in a while, and I was on Benedict Canyon, and there were cars that stopped, and I pulled over, and Jackie was going from house to house to find the guy that owned this dog that had been hit by a car, and we got the dog into the car and took it to that. She's really a nice person. She's very nice. Mm-hmm. I asked her like advice, and she said learn French.
Really?
Yeah, that was her advice.
In acting?
Yeah.
Learn French. I would love to ask her about that. Why? What did she tell you? Why?
I don't know. No, she didn't. I don't know. It's like it's not what I expected.
No, I'm trying to think. What would that mean outside of a way of?
Well, I think she kind of meant it. Have something else in your life. Keep learning.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I mean, that's the way I took. Just like keep learning. Keep learning, and the French used to make. I mean, I guess they still do make some nice movies, and Truffaut. Remember all those Truffaut movies?
And there's something about that language is very.
It's a beautiful language, I suppose.
Okay, it's almost like
she could have said learn Italian.
Well, that's a little more wild. When you say Italian.
French is like French has more to do with literature. Italian is like singing, and it embraces so much more.
Breaking the rules. Where
really?
French is, what I'm saying.
Really?
Italian is like,
break the rules?
I think so. It's very out there. It's very, and when you say Italian,
expressive.
Right, that's what I'm saying, yeah. When you say
all the
French.
Wonderful operas and French, it's all like inside, kind of, and I can feel that.
Yeah, there's a difference there in, French. Italian, you're right out there.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. If I want to, I would love to go to Italy, and I would like to rent some place in the country, and just for there for 3 months.
You should go.
I mean, I would like to do that.
I would love to see you go
to
teach.
Just for the food.
You can go there and teach. I have a friend, Lydia Vitali, in Rome, and she has a place you could always rent there, right in Rome.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be fun. Because I have no desire to go anywhere.
Oh, you would.
I really don't. I don't want to go anyplace.
You would love it out there, and they love American actors.
They do?
Oh, they would love you out there. In Rome, you probably would do a lot of work.
Really?
I would think so. Look at the way you look and everything. You should look into that. It's a great idea. Any of my Italian friends over there in Rome, Veronica De Laurentiis, Dino's daughter.
Really?
She lives in Rome too. I did a show with her, and I'm trying, when she comes back to America, I really want her to come back. She has a book out that you would really enjoy, where she talks about how, her childhood of being molested.
Oh,
and this and that.
So many people go through. See, I never was molested as a child. I had a lot of things that I went through, but that, I would think that would just kill your spirit. Like,
well, it didn't kill hers, and
that's terrible.
I'll friend her to you.
Okay.
And she's such a beautiful, elegant woman, too. And, you know, that elegance comes right through that, you know, of Rome.
Oh, there's nothing more Italian women are the most beautiful in the world.
Well, and
they really are.
Well,
the
I
most
always
beautiful.
found elegant, you know.
And elegant
sexy.
also. Yes.
I find it so sexy.
Yeah, they
when
are.
A woman with class. Oh, it's just
they are.
It's an amazing thing that you ladies have. I rather, when I see a streetwalker, it doesn't turn me on. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, that's, you know, it doesn't turn me on.
You see streetwalkers in L.A.?
Well, you know what I'm saying. You know.
I've never seen a streetwalker in L.A.
Well, like you see them on Santa Monica Boulevard, but
really?
a lot of them are usually guys.
They're guys?
Yeah, well, the women are on Sunset, isn't it? Or then there's over here where is it, Sepulveda Boulevard? Off Ventura Boulevard, Sepulveda. I think, I don't know if it's
really?
still there.
I
Years
wonder
ago.
where on Sepulveda? Ventura and Sepulveda.
Well, right on, yeah.
Is there a bar there? Or
no,
a restaurant
they
or
walk
a
up and
hotel or
down.
something?
There's a motel.
Oh.
They walk up and down. Years ago, I don't know if they still do. I remember when Vanity was living there, and I used to go visit her a lot. And
she wrote a book.
yeah, well, she became a born-again Christian, and
she's become a what do you call a preacher? Not
whatever.
a preacher,
Yeah, she is
but she's one of those.
one of the most beautiful women I ever saw in my life.
Yeah, she is gorgeous.
I mean, she was.
There's a lady at my bank who, and I guess she lived with my lady at the bank. She lived with her for a while.
With
And,
V?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she lived with the lady at the bank because she was going through some hard times. And she lived there for like 6 months or something with her. And I got the book. I got her book, but
Really?
it was like reading poetry.
Yeah, it's a
Prose.
Big book.
It's like, you know, good Lord, it does.
That's it too. Now, would you
like
consider
another
your
language.
book like a
Mine is
coffee
easy
table
to read. No, mine is one
Or
you
a
just
bedroom
throw in.
book?
You just throw it in. I don't know. You know what? My girlfriends that have read that, and I've just sent them. I just done it on my computer. Just sent them the whole book. They go through and they look at. They're interested in the men.
Yeah, right.
You know. So I don't know. It's like.
Well, that's what makes it. I think it's going to be good because
of the affairs.
it's a
and
gossip.
and
It's
it's gossipy and kiss and tell.
kiss and tell.
It's
And you
that.
really tell.
Yeah, and I really go there. I really tell. Except that there was one thing. There was one thing about Ryan O'Neal. Jesse took that out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he took that, the descriptive thing of
yeah.
that out. You know,
It's
just said we didn't fit.
okay. Don't ask me because I ain't giving it up. Yeah.
Joan is so great because you can tell him anything. And he forgives you. He's not at all judgmental about us gals. He's just so
No,
nice.
I don't.
Plus, he makes a great cup of coffee, and he's a fantastic cook. You know, if anybody's out there that's watching that wants to come on the show, actors, singers, dancers, anyone who's an artist who wants to be an artist, come talk about your passion.
That's what it really is. Thank you for saying that because I don't say that enough. And we've done, you know, you've been a big help to me, and I'm really, this book is, I just have a gut feeling it's going to be, it's going to take off. It does need some publicity. I mean, we know that. Word of mouth takes too long
I'm going to call Ed Losey today. I'm going to call him, and I've got to call the franchise tax board, and I have to.
Well, we'll
call
send this to Ed
have to
today. We'll send this to him today. When I put it up.
Ed, the best PR person in all of Hollywood.
And if Ed doesn't want to do it, there are others out there.
Well, I don't. You know something? A lot of time, you know, I was talking to Ed one time. And he said, you know, a lot of people have written books, and they want to hire me to. He said, but I can only do so much.
So much, yeah.
It's like the book's got to like go. You know, it's like. You know, not everybody's going to be interested in somebody's book.
That's what
I don't know whether they are.
That's why I think he'll be interested in this, and the others will be, because it is one of those sexy tell-all where especially the gossip people love gossip.
And it's really perils of Pauline too, because it's like that ex-partner of mine left me out on a jet ski in the middle of deep water in the Fiji Islands, and it was like I had a real weird experience out there, and I don't know. I've just come through a lot of things that I shouldn't have come through.
If they made a movie out of your life, who would you like to play it?
Oh, Scarlett Johansson. I don't know. Anybody who, I don't care. Whatever they want to do in it. I just don't want to be in it.
Would it be G-rated or R-rated?
Oh, it'd have to be X-rated.